Hello to my Western audience. As I promised, I would give you a follow-up to the previous video that I have done about the interview that I was going to watch and to review for my Russian audience. Now, for my Russian audience, I of course reviewed it more deeply because it's a more Russian topic, but basically for all of you Westerners who are interested in Russia, because you are watching my content. So, very simply put, who is the ex-fiance of a famous singer named Jana Frisky. Jana Frisky is a Katy Perry-esque singer, I would say, because you know she's like sexy and provocative, but at the same time very cutesy and all the rest of it. So you know, like I would say that very thin line she was. So she was cutesy and all, and the backstory and the backbone of the story is that her ex-husband had very serious problems with her family, which is again known fact, and very interesting that he had some backlashes with her family, and that they had all the drama and shit of going through courts. And this interview is supposed to like redeem him or something, like explaining the situation from his point of view, because the grandparents from the mother's side, they said like he's a terrible person, like he's withholding us and doesn't let us see our grandchild, and he like represent his point of view. So he said some really weird and coherent shit that what it was, like saying that he, and again he's a semi-famous man, he's rich, he's connected, and you know it's kind of a poster child of the first channel in Russia, and the first channel in Russia is again federal, and you basically have to have the state owes you some favors once you appear on that channel. So it's really weird that a person like him could be possibly intimidated by anyone. And again, he makes great money, he has good connections, so being intimidated by family members of a known singer, but a long past singer, sadly long past singer, just don't cut this chase. He like said that they stole money from him and from the accounts when the singer was still alive, and again that doesn't make any sense, because again Russia still has laws as far as you can be concerned, that financial laws. You can't just take a person's money out of his bank account without his consent, even if that person died, and especially such a rich person. Okay, she's a very wealthy person. You can't just go and like say, well, hello bank, I'm her parents, can I take her money? Yeah, sure, yeah, here you go, take the money. So that's that, and that he ordered some criminals to threaten him, and that those criminals were like on the most wanted list, and that the police didn't do nothing about it, which is again very weird and totally not true. Because if you have a search warrant for you in Russia and you're not some kind of huge oligarch or very influent official or something like that, or then they will just come for you. You know, the police just won't say, well, we just released those dangerous criminals that this well-connected and rich guy told us that came to his house. Of course that wouldn't happen. And he was all sleek, and you know, all that corporate friendly shit that he was just giving it. It was all a show. And by the way, in Russian, most of the comments will like as well, that person is not believable, he's lying, he's like lying through his teeth, it's all an act. The only time, and this I give him to his favor, when he talked about his children, he spoke from the heart, he like gave emotion. Although he also did that my children shit, like my children were really traumatized that my grandpa tried to kidnap him, and he said there was a security guard, and when he brought those bodies and they tried to kidnap him, it was some really weird incoherent story. Like, let's just imagine it for a second. I'll tell you the story how he told it. The grandfather came with some Caucasian now again, Caucasian from the Kafkaz region, not Caucasian white. Like they're also white, but they're from the Kafkaz region and like considered tough guys in Russia. And bandit elements. And so like some Caucasians came with the grandfather. Some of them were like true criminals that the police was searching for them. They came to my house and like I'm standing here with my child and my security guard is standing over here, and they broke his arm and grandpa tried to reach for him. And now that sounds incoherent. Now if you see a true danger for you and your child, you fucking run away, lock yourself in the room, call the police, that's it. You wait for the police while your security guard handles the problem and like really strange things. And like so imagine like your security guards, I guess, getting the shit kicked out of them, and like the grandpa runs in and kidnaps the child, or you fight for the child. Like that story doesn't make any sense once you start to think logically how the situation should have looked. Really strange story. Well, that's about all. Thank you for listening. I was Roman Hatkin. Goodbye.